Okay, hi everybody. Today we're going to be doing a low back stretch mobility routine. We're kind of veering on the side of stretch. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff that you can actually do standing because honestly, we do a lot of standing in life. It's not always opportune to get down on the floor in the middle of your day to do some stretches. So we're definitely going to start standing. I've got some cozy warm clothes on because we're not going to be getting too much of a sweat worked up. Yeah, let's get started. So we're just going to start with some really classic roll downs. I'm just going to face sideways on my mat. I've got my feet about shoulder width apart. Knees are going to be softly bent. I'm going to drop through my head and think about anchoring my tailbone nice and heavy. So this isn't about a hamstring stretch here. We're going to roll our spine down. We're just trying to think about just starting to decompress through that low back and then roll all the way up. My microphone's in an odd spot. Keep that going. Inhale here. Exhale, rolling forward and down. So I'm keeping my knees nice and bent, and I'm really just thinking about that nice, heavy low back. Let your head drop. Inhale, exhale, rolling up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, sacrum drops nice and heavy. Drop your head. Rolling through your spine, forward and down. Inhale. And exhale, rolling up. Again, we're thinking easy. We're thinking low back is opening up. Last one like this. Inhale, exhale, rolling forward. Keeping those knees nice and bent. We're coming all the way down, and we're just going to hang here for a moment. So if you can, go ahead and reach to the back of your legs wherever it is comfortable for you. If you need to bend your knees a little bit more, go for it. I'm going to definitely bend mine a little bit more. Okay. So what we're going to do from here is you're just going to gently straighten one leg a little bit and then bend it back down, and then straighten the opposite leg and bend it back down. So you're going to have that little mini shift over as you straighten the leg and mini shift over. Good. A couple more times. Now, one thing I should say is if you start to get any kind of nervy symptoms like numbness, tingling, pain, any kind of like electrical sensation, I want you to ease off. Don't fully straighten those legs. This is really just about trying to mobilize everything happening in the lumbar fascia versus getting like a really deep, intense leg stretch. Let's just do one more on each side. Stretch and stretch. And then nice and heavy like a rag doll, roll your spine all the way up. Inhale once you get to the top. Get rid of that lightheaded feeling. Okay, so I'd like you to have something nearby that you can hold on to, so whether it's a chair or a wall. I'm going to face you. Imagine I've got something to hold on to beside me here. You're going to take I've got my right leg, so I'm going to send my right leg behind my left leg, and I've got my left arm against the wall. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to push my hips to the right and stretch up and over to the left. So I'm going to turn and face this way so you can see me now. So I've got my left hand on the wall. My right leg's going to cross behind the left leg. Right arm's coming up, and I'm sending my hips away, and then I'm kind of making a big curve towards the wall, and you can let your head kind of drop down too. Now, if you find that that's not enough of a stretch, come away from the wall a little bit more, and then really think about sending those hips all the way over to the side as you come into that stretch. And then think about trying to press the right foot down into the floor. Let that neck be heavy. I'm really bad for that. And then from here, what I want you to do is you're going to pull your tummy in and round forward. And that's going to change the stretch in your low back, and then come back into that side bend. So pull your tummy in and round forward, and then come back into that side bend. This one feels absolutely incredible to me. Pull the tummy in, and it kind of stretches through the back a little bit more, and then back to that side bend. One more, let that head be heavy. Pull the tummy in, and then back into that side bend, and then come all the way up. And we're gonna swing around to the other side. So now I've got my right hand against the wall. My left foot crosses behind that left foot crosses behind the right foot. Left hand's going to come up, and I'm sending my hips to the left and side bending in towards the wall. Head is nice and heavy. So try this one out. Maybe you have to make a little bit of adjustment. So I'm going to come a little bit further away from the wall. Side bend into the wall, and then really press that left foot down, and that's going to increase the stretch going through the side of your body. And then pull your tummy muscles in, gently round forward, and then come back. And then again, gently round forward, and coming back. Let's do 2 more. Pull your tummy muscles in, a little bit of a rounding forward to feel that stretch going all the way down the back. And back to your side bend. 1 more. Pull your tummy in, round. And come back to your side bend. And then come out of that. Shake it out. Let's just do a little bit of hamstring sweeps. So one foot's going to come forward, send your hips back, sweep the ground, and come back up. Same thing. So yes, you're going to get a nice opening through your hamstrings, but I want you to round your low back. And maybe you get a little bit of a stretch, a little bit more of a dynamic stretch into your low back as you sweep towards the ground. Bend the opposite knee. Bend the opposite knee. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to take your feet nice and wide. And then we're going to go back into that roll down. So now we're starting to get a little bit warm. I'm going to face this way so you can see. Bend those knees, heavy through your tailbone, drop your head. And then you're rounding and you're thinking about peeling your spine off one by one, all the way down to the floor. So let your head be heavy. My hood is my reminder to keep my head nice and heavy, knees are bent. And then you're just going to holding onto your opposite elbows. And then you're just going to really gently kind of sway side to side here. Again, just opening up the back sides. Just hold here. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Keep those knees nice and bent. And then let those hands go and round all the way back up, keeping that head heavy all the way to the top. Deep breath in. And again, round. Drop that tailbone, rounding forward all the way. Holding on to opposite elbows. Little sways side to side. You might notice that one side is tighter than the other. For me, it's definitely my right. And then round and roll all the way back up. Inhale at the top, 1 more time like that. Exhale, round forward. All the way down, holding on to opposite elbows. And little sway side to side. Good, and then we're going to let go. And then really gently round and roll all the way up. Inhale once you get to the top. Okay, so back to the wall. I'm going to be standing with my left hand against the wall. My left foot is going to be forward and my right foot's going to be back. We're coming into a little lunge. So it's just small. It's not a big, deep lunge position. If you need to, you can bend that back leg a little bit, but I'd like to encourage you to try to straighten it. We're going to try to find a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt so that we're opening the front of that hip flexor. And then we're going to lift that right arm up, and what you should feel is a big stretch coming down the inside of your hip bone. So it should come down the front of your leg and the inside of your hip bone like that. We're just using that wall for some support. So tucking the tailbone under, belly buttons in, reaching up. And then we can take that little side bend up into the wall, similar to what we did before. Keep that tailbone tucked under as much as you can. Hold, 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 deep breath in and out. And then let's come out of that. Take that back foot and you're going to turn the toe out. So if I'm facing you, you're into more of like a yogi warrior pose, just again, really, really small. So we've got that back foot turned out. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to try to find that little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt. Arm's going to come up, and then we're side bending in. So we're going to feel that stretch coming even more through the inside of your hip into the inside of your inner thigh. So tuck the pelvis under, really lift up through that right arm, and then side bend in. Keep thinking about bringing your belly button towards your spine, and that's going to help to get even higher into those hip flexors and kind of targeting the muscles that actually start from your spine. Good. One more deep breath in and out. And then let's come up. And then last one, we're going to take that back foot and we're going to just pigeon toe it a little bit. And then same idea, finding that little bit of a tilt under. But this time you're going to push your hips away from the wall. So we've got this little bit of a tilt, so a little tuck, sorry, toes pointing in a little bit of a tuck of the pelvis, and then the hips go away from the wall as you come into that little side bend. And what you want to feel is maybe a bit more through the front of that leg, maybe the TFL muscle that attaches into the bottom of your knee. Deep breath in and out. Keep pulling that belly button towards your spine. Good. This one, oh, I love this one. Deep breath in and out. And then come out of it. And then everything to the other side. So we're going to spin around. My right hand is going against the wall. My right foot is forward, my left foot is back. Again, not a super big lunge stance. We're going to find that little tuck under of the pelvis. Arm is going to reach up. And then we're taking that little side bend in towards the wall. Everyone drop your shoulders down. And then we're just breathing, continuing to think about our belly buttons coming towards our spine, opening through the front of that hip flexor. If you start to feel this in your back, I want you to ease off and really pull the tailbone under more. It should feel like quite a bit coming through the front of your hip flexor, maybe into the inside of your hip flexor. One more nice deep breath in and out. And then we're going to come out of it, turning that back toe out to the corner, squaring your hips off, finding that tuck under of your pelvis. This time you're going to feel it coming through the front inside of your hip bone. Arm's going to come up, and then we tip in towards the wall, feeling that stretch going through the inside of your hip, maybe going into the inner thigh. Keep tucking that pelvis under, pulling your belly button in. Relaxing those shoulders down. Nice deep breath in and out. And then let's come out of it. Last one, we're going to turn that toe in just a little bit. Again, finding that little tuck under of the pelvis, sending your hips away from the wall until you feel the stretch going through the side of your hip a little bit more. Arms going to come up, and then little side bend in towards the wall again. Whew. This one always gets intense. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Deep breath in and out. Good. Deep breath in and out. And then let's come up and out of that. And then just shake your legs out for a second. Okay, so this one is going to be a bit of a funny one, but it's also really great when your back's just feeling super stiff, but you literally cannot get down on the ground. So you're going to come, feet are going to be shoulder width apart. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to have your hands on your knees. So in this position, what I want you to do first is just try to drop your tailbone. So you're dropping your tailbone, and then you're going to let your shoulders shrug up. And the more you kind of think about pulling your belly button in and dropping your tailbone, you're going to start to feel a nice little opening, maybe even like a little bit of traction through your lower back. And if you don't feel that, that's okay. It's still kind of a nice relief position. But what you're going to do from here is you're actually going to tuck your tailbone under a little bit more, and then you're going to lift your tailbone and arch your back. And then look up to the ceiling. So push your shoulders down, press your arms away from your legs. And then again, tuck under like you're going to do a little cat-cow. Let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears to get that little bit of traction. And then you're going to lift your tailbone and arch. So I told you this one looks a little bit funny. But the more you kind of sink those shoulders, so I'm literally sinking my shoulders down like this, keeping my elbows straight, and then dropping that tailbone into the curve, the more of that traction sensation you're going to get. And then arch and lift. Let's do one more. Drop that tailbone. Let the shoulders be heavy. Elbows are straight. And then open and lift up. Okay, I told you that one is so ridiculous, but feels really good. Round your spine and lift yourself all the way up. Okay, we are going to do a little bit on the floor, so please join me if you can. Otherwise, you can just do the first part of this workout and you're done. Come onto the floor if you're joining. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. Hands are just relaxed at the back. You can have them nice and wide. All you're going to be doing is just shifting your hips over to the left and then coming back to the middle. And then shifting your hips to the left and then coming back to the middle. So really let that upper back relax. You might feel a little bit of a stretch going down the side of your body like this as those legs shift over and then come back up and then shifting over and come back up. Two more, shifting over and coming back up. One more, shifting over and coming up. Now what I want you to do from here is you're just going to gently push your hips up and then try to bring your hips nice and close to you on the way down. Push your hips up and then bring them nice and close to you. Maybe you start to sit up a little bit taller. Do that 2 more times. Lift your hips up, bring them nice and close. Maybe you sit up a little bit taller. One more, lift up, sit nice and close, sit up tall, and maybe walk your hands a little bit closer. Press your shoulders away from your ears and just think about sitting up nice and tall. You're going to feel a big stretch going through your hips, through your glutes, maybe into your low back, hopefully, depending on how tight you are. And then we're just going to gently let that left leg slide down. The right foot's just going to stand on the outside of that left knee. You're going to wrap your left hand around your right knee, and then you're just taking a twist as you sit up even taller into that right side. You can look over your shoulder. Good. Deep breath in and out. Good. Maybe twist a little bit further. Coming out of that, take that right knee. You're going to place it opposite your right foot is going to go opposite your left knee. You're going to sit up nice and tall, feel a nice length going through your low back, and then let yourself just fold forward, walking your hands as far forward as you can comfortably. And if that means you stop here, then you stop there. If you're here, wherever works for your body. We're just trying to feel a stretch going through that right hip and into your low back, and you can let your low back round. So wherever your hands fall, let them, and then let that upper body just curve forward, top of the head's reaching towards your knee. And we're going to feel that nice stretch going through your back and into your left hamstring. Keep that head heavy, heavy. Deep breath in and out. And then roll yourself up. Now from here, all we're going to do is just open that right knee out to the side. And I'm actually walking it forward so that I've got a really, really good base of support. I want to have both of my sit bones anchored into the floor. You can keep that right foot relaxed, but we're just going to take left foot. Take a nice big side bend up and over into that left side. Let your head drop heavy. And then same with what we were doing when we were standing. You're going to pull your tummy in and round to reach forward. And then back into that side bend. And then again, pull your tummy in, round to reach forward. And then back to your side bend. 2 more. Pull your tummy in, round. And back to your side bend. Last one. Tummy pulls in, round. And then back to your side bend. And then coming up, take that right leg, open it out into a straddle stretch. Drop your head. Round your spine forward, walk your fingers out as far as you can comfortably. My hips are popping. And then walk yourself back in. Inhale at the top. Exhale, drop your tailbone heavy. Round your spine, walking your hands forward as far as they'll go comfortably. And then round back up. Inhale. One more. Exhale, drop your tailbone. walking forward, and then rock back up. Take that left knee, now you're gonna bend it in front, making a nice base of support. Big side bend up and over to that left, or my rights and lefts are terrible today. Up and over to that right side. And then same thing from standing, you're gonna pull your tummy muscles in, reach forward, and then open up into your side bend. And then again, reaching forward, and then open into your side bend. 2 more, exhale, rounding forward, and then opening back up. 1 more, rounding forward, and opening back up. Take that left leg, bring it in to the right knee. So right leg is straight, left foot is in at that right knee. And all you're gonna do is just round your spine. Walk your hands as far forward as you can go comfortably, finding that nice little hamstring stretch through the right side, a nice opening through your low back. You wanna have your hips square, so you don't wanna be here. You wanna be as square as possible, both hip bones facing in the same direction. Body is just relaxed forward, head is heavy, shoulders are away from your ears. You're just stretching as far as you can comfortably. And we're breathing. Good, 1 more, inhale. And breathe out. Rolling yourself back up, inhale. Crossing that left knee or left foot over the right knee, sitting up nice and tall, hooking that right arm around your left leg and twisting into that left side. Looking over your shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. Breathing in and out. Good. You're gonna untwist. You're gonna slide that right heel up, and we're gonna lift your hips up. And then sit those hips down, maybe sit up a little bit taller. And again, lift your hips up and sit down, lift up through your spine a little bit taller. 2 more, lifting up and sitting down, lifting up a little taller. 1 more, lifting up and sitting up nice and tall. Walk your hands back a little bit, and then you're twisting that whole shape over to the right. So kind of did everything in reverse on the opposite side. Shifting over and lifting up. 2 more, shifting over and lifting up. Last one, shifting over and lifting up. And then you're just gonna take your feet as wide as your mat, and you're just gonna windshield wiper your knees, side to side. Good work, everybody. All right, let's swing those legs around. Come into a forward fold position, bending your knees, letting your tailbone drop nice and heavy. Let your head, arms, shoulders relax forward. And then 1 time, nice and slow, we're gonna ragdoll our spine all the way up, keeping everything as heavy as possible. You're coming all the way up to standing, inhaling once you get to the top. And let it go. Hope you all enjoyed that. A little less lying on the floor, a little bit more standing, accessible type low back mobility drills, stretches that hopefully you can do when you are feeling that low back tension during your day. See you next time.